All right, vampires. We've got some Dorkos to play on curve. We've got some efficient removal. We've got some powerful top end that beats down and generates some card advantage in the case of the Scion. We've got pretty good mana. We've got 12 dual lands here effectively. We've got some decent creature lands. So let's jump on into some games with this and see how it goes. I don't know that I really have a standard deck I love right now, Toxic. It feels kind of tough to brew in this format. You're like stuck in between green and white aggro and Epiphany. Hey, Fournier. Thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. I tend to get whichever matchup is worse for the current deck I am building. Yep. Hull Breacher just slots into the Epiphany decks. I wish there was a sweeter answer, but you just play a couple of copies in the Epiphany deck as another powerful finisher. Yeah. Epicure here will enable Socialite next turn, which is nice. Yeah, solid curve here for us. Be interested to see if it can get through my opponent's control deck or if we're just gonna get buried in a Blood on the Snow box. Leave Florian into play with fire here. That way they can't fumes this away. No, it's definitely accurate to say that Historic is more diverse than Standard at the moment. That is definitely the case. Look at the untapped metrics alone. So they can trade here. This has first strike though, so it doesn't trade into here. If they trade here, I get 6 looks at cards. Wow. 8 looks at whatever I want? It's like Christmas, chat. I would love my Maid of Dishonor. Welcome back, Andarchy. Yeah, Maid just sacrifices blood to drain them out, so they should be pretty dead here. Thanks, Assassin. Can Assassin's Trophy go face? I don't think so. But I appreciate the quarter of a year. Alright, so they're a control deck. Removal spells seem not great. Sorin is good. Duress is good. Inscription of Ruin is good. Go Blank is good. Trim these play with fires. Seems like a plan. For the 10 months, Brain Eater. Huh? Duress on one. See what they got. They have Duress in against me. Deal. Bold strategy. Let's see how it pays off for him here. Read him and weep. This is not a card that should be in their deck post board. So I have a decision to make. If I go blank here, my opponent's gonna get to Shambling Gas, kill my Bloodcaster. Yeah, but what good would double spelling on 3 be Birthing Potter if I'm playing 2 2/1s out into their 1/1 that minuses something and this 1/4 that blocks? If I play Socialite, this will be a 3/2 and it won't die to the Shambling Gas trigger, which I think has more value. Like, you're right, I could have sequenced differently to double spell, but the way my board ends up with that double spell isn't particularly good. It's worse than my board with single spelling. Spinning the sciences is bold. Being a bold, that's aggressive. I guess they just don't want to necrotic fumes either of the things I have in play. Hold on, cards in hand. 30 months, and I still can't find the unsub button. Thanks for the 2.5 years, Exo. For the follow Nightwing magic. Can we attack with everything here? They can trade here or here. But if they want to trade here, they take 6. That seems good for us. Yeah, Olivia's lieutenant is pretty good. Menace feels like such a perfect evasive keyword for these small creature decks. Like, not impossible to block, but also not free to block either. Hey, digging for blood on the snow over there, I'd venture to guess. That's pretty good. Oh, I guess Bloodvial Purveyor actually has trample, right?
Come closer, little thing.
So it's
that
not actually that useful.
Better.
He's going to be attacking as a 7 currently. Okay, they can sack the blood token now.
Subservience will be.
They're actually dead on board, right? They go block, double. No, they go to 1. They're going to 1 on board currently. If I draw an untapped land, Anje is lethal. Easy game. Easy game. They're also dead to not sacrificing the blood token. So, sure. We had the lethal anyways with the Maid of Dishonor, but here we are. Okay. That's good. Usually the aggressive matchups feel kind of tough into... A lot of the aggro brews we played this format feel tough into the black-white stone control, but that felt pretty reasonable. Good mix of reach and good early aggressive pressure. Yeah, the menace keyword on Socialite definitely. Strong part of why we're able to play through their cheap creature blockers there. Made there things that are normally chumps for them be significantly worse. Sure. The block there is huge for us. This hand is really going to go burr, huh? We're gonna go Epicure into Socialite next turn. And kind of pump up the jam here. Hit me for 2, no blocks. Hey, turn 3, 11 power and play attack you for 6. Go. Oh no! Please don't take my Socialite. How will we ever win the game now? I know you just borrowed the Socialite, but if I could just have it back for a quick minute. So chat, play with fire, you're gonna get burned. Well, that was quite the beating. Vampire Socialite, go burr. Alright. Some Rays of Enfeeblement, a power word kill, some Vampire's Vengeance. What do we trim here? So I know we just like solidly went burr there on the play, but am I supposed to pull up in these post-board games since I'm bringing in these sweepers? Is it crazy to just like cut all my 1-drops? And just like be a bigger deck? We're just like black-red control. I'll split Infernal Grasp 1/1 with Burning Hands. We just do this. How many threats is this? This is still 21 creatures. It's probably fine, right? Let's try this. I think especially on the draw. This seems good. Epicure is like really bad blood. People keep asking me to bring in Mind Rot / 3-mana Doomblade against their 1-drop aggro deck. Stop it, chat. Stop it, chat. Inscription is really not good here. Yikes. Chat, the reason why I did not kill this card is because I am a Magic player and I haven't actually read this card before. I believed that this card gave -X equal to the number of blood counters I control. Turns out it's twice the number of blood counters I control. Reading still confirmed busted, expecting a nerf in a future patch. Confident we will see nerfs to reading sometime soon. the more you know. Thanks for the 13 months, Jack, and for the tier 2. So, there was going to be a Twitch Rivals for Pokemon Unite this afternoon, but it got pushed back due to some logistical issues. It'll be on Thursday next week now. I knew it was sorcery speed. I knew it gave related to blood counters. I did not realize it was twice. And remember, by the way, if you want to play in a Pokemon Unite tournament, Hoaglandia is going to be having a Pokemon Unite Open on December 4th. It's going to have $500 in cash prizes sponsored by Metafy.gg. And it is free to enter. You don't even need to be subscribed to the channel. You can find more info on my Twitter there. So find some friends and come play. I think I want the Bloodcaster. Pretty sure we're just supposed to play conservatively here and just crack them for 5. That's 7. I'm gonna make it 7 just in case they have some kind of removal spell here. Successful game. We learned what our magic cards do. We won. Feels good, man. Feels good. Yeah, I think Vampires has one of the better mono white matchups in the format. The fact that you get to play a bunch of Play With Fire's main and then other cheap, efficient removal while also applying pressure goes a long way. Yeah, Vamps has a decent matchup into mono white. For sure. Those Vampires batting ends. Rather than making stuff up from memory, I'd encourage you to go watch Meta Monday from last week, where there's a matchup table with a pretty decent sample size to get an idea of what the matchups are like. Go to the front page of my YouTube channel. Scroll down for the playlist. I mean, did you watch the game that we just played, Darth? Where I, like, boarded out my 1-drops and boarded in removal and pulled up into a mid-range deck? I boarded in Sorin in that game because my deck is looking to play a longer game with more card advantage. And Sorin is the best source of card advantage our deck can play after the 3/3 for 3, which you already have 4 copies of. Vamps are very reasonable in this format, Donkey. My body is ready to get Doom Foretold. Didn't get Doom Foretold. Fist bump. How's Standard been? Standard's better than when Eldraine was legal. This, letting us hit land drops so we can use the blood to cycle other lands into spells is great. Florian is very strong. For sure. Are you dead, Jet? Things that are Howling Mine style effects like this, where like they generate an extra card every turn, tend to be good in general. And this is an extra card that comes with selection with the extra card. Again, it rewards you for doing what you want to be doing anyways, which is beating down. I mean, they're dead on board anyways, but we'll play with fire to add some insult to injury. Is the sword coming? Concerted defense. Oh, opponent's playing the blue-white tempo deck that we played earlier today. It wasn't good, chat. Bad. It was a bad scene. Play with fire, you're gonna get burned. I would bet this is an Aldurin's Epiphany face down. Other builds of this deck were playing that card, yeah. Power word kill's pretty okay here. I love how you have to finish scrying before they're allowed to die. That's because being at 0 life doesn't kill you, chat. State-based actions being checked kills you. You can see face-down cards into the game. Yeah, you have to ensure boomers playing paper Magic aren't cheating. The Ray of Enfeeblement matchup. Could be. I don't know what I want to cut, though. I've got 8 removal spells in my deck right now, and I've already got 1 card to cut. Well, I mean, not scrying, you just implied that you left the card on top. It's like, we'll leave that one there. There's no rule that says you have to look at your scry. You can just say you're leaving it on top. It's a legal game action. BT dubs, for those that may or may not have seen it. If you live in the United States, the FDA has approved COVID vaccine booster shots for all adults who are 6 months out from their original vaccination. So if you're someone that was in those very initial rounds of shots in the spring last year, you're eligible to go get a booster. I think Christy and I gotta check our cards. I think Christy and I were like June. We didn't have any underlying conditions and we were young, so we were towards the back of the line when they rolled everything out. Glad to see people are being responsible and getting those. Nice, Idris. Yeah, I think Christy and I will be December or January, if I recall correctly. Has it been 6 months since March 2020? Well, it's still March 2020, so no. Okay, so they're stumbling. I think we just play Florian out here. Are people still refusing to take shots in the US? I mean, yeah. There's an entire political party in the United States that's founded on misinformation of any kind to create an us versus them narrative to control people. And vaccines are the latest thing to get lumped in with things like abortion and guns that get people to be single issue voters and play for a side. I think we trade this here because I really just want to find a removal spell, and this dying gives me another blood. So we can cycle through some of these, trying to find a way to kill this. That is true. I give the GOP a lot of shit, but it is nice for someone to finally stand up to the tyranny that is Big Bird, chat. Who would save us from giant yellow costumed creatures, if not the grand old party of Republicans? What is Big Bird? Big Bird is a costumed character on a children's show that recently started encouraging children to get vaccinated because they're eligible to do so now. It's from Sesame Street, if you've heard of that before. If you live outside of the US, you might not have. Can you tell me how to get to the communist bird? How to get to the communist bird? Do 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 do, be do do. Do 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 do. And we have 2 blanks in hand at the moment, but we also have 2 blood in play, so like these get to turn into randoms, which is nice here. might be disconnected here. Any board game recommendations? I love board games. This tweet is a little bit old, but it still has all of my favorites in it, I believe. I'm gonna take the Play with Fire here rather than the Anje, because I just want to clean their board out. So we'll kill this and then drop the Purveyor. People acting like Sesame Street hasn't always been progressive. Well, that's just the thing. Like, encouraging people to get vaccinated isn't progressive. Like, vaccinations aren't really a progressive thing. They're a science thing that, like, any reasonable person should agree on. They're a public health thing. That's the phrasing. They're a public health thing. So I'm actually kind of low on life here. I think I'm going to play out the Bloodvial, or the Bloodcaster here. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack with all of these. And if they eat this, I get a blood token out of it. And when they don't eat it, I get to dig real deep for cards to cast here. I guess just another Purveyor, huh? Just stack them up. Shoutouts to everybody that's still hanging out today, by the way. We only lost 5% of our viewers that time when I talked about people getting vaccinated. Usually we lose 10 to 20%. So we've got 1,000 pretty reasonable people in here this morning. Appreciate you all. Thanks for being decent human beings that believe in contributing to public health. Thanks for the follow, wrap up. So, like, we're ahead on board, but we're behind in life total from the early turns. They can double block our Scion now if they want. Infernal Grasp is a pretty solid pickup. What happens if I smash with everything here? They, like, sack a blood token in response to the Bloodline Purveyors, and then I have 14 there. We're dead on the crackback? Yeah, but do they have to block a bunch of stuff, right? So if I attack with everything, this is 14 at a minimum. Could be 16. We grasp this. If they go chump, eat, they take 14, 17, 19, 21. They could have a Fading Hope here. They can't kill Florian in combat though, so I'm gonna get a bunch of looks at another removal spell or a blocker here though. I think we're okay. And if they don't have Fading Hope, they're dead. But if they do have Fading Hope, we get a bunch of looks at a way to still be alive for next turn. I think this is the correct line. Oh, and the Bloodvial Purveyor just can get recast. It's only getting bounced, right? So this is 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is 17 total. Nah, I just didn't want them to spread their 4/3s out onto my 2/1s. Okay, we are hoping to find a removal spell here. Wait, they went to 2? Alright, sure. Listen, when you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, chat. It's just, I didn't make the rules. That's just how they are. Easy. Easy game. Easy clap. Lethal plus a scry. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't eat a 2/1. Well, I guess if they eat a 2/1 there, my play with fire kills their thing, so we still end up fine, right? Ooh, mythic rare. Pretty lucky. Looked at 17 cards and found what we wanted. Tofu is my name. Thank you for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Such value, much gems. It's like a vampiric tutor. No, this one puts it in my hand. I think Florian is reasonable outside of a vampire show. Yeah, definitely. There's been some red, black, and some Jund treasure decks that have been playing Florian as a card advantage engine. Even when you only look at a few cards of Florian, it's still pretty likely to draw you something. Yeah, he's gonna throw enough noodles at the wall. It's something that'll stick eventually, Braveheart. Like, I loaded up, I had like a dozen standard decks loaded up when we started today. And like, when I load up that many different decks, I go into them with the expectation that a significant chunk of them are going to be bad. One of the things you gotta keep in mind if you're gonna work on things in Magic, or any card game really, is like, or even life. Most of the things you do, you're gonna suck at and they're gonna fail, chat. The first step towards getting good at something is being bad at it. And for every successful deck you see on a stream, like, there's a bunch of others that end up on the cutting room floor. All right, we're on the draw. Let's draw 1-drop on 1. Hit me, dealer. I played around with Dollhouse and all. No, that card's not constructed playable. I didn't start as a successful MTG streamer. In fact, the only reason that my stream gained any amount of notoriety to begin with was in large part due to the fact that I spent the better part of 4 years driving and flying around the United States playing in incredibly low-value Magic tournaments for fun. Hey, thanks for the half a year, Guslia. My buddy Matt and I often refer to my time spent playing Magic on the SCG tour as my unpaid internship. I was incredibly successful on the SCG tour. There was one year where I finished second on their leaderboard, and I believe the year that I finished second, I made just over $19,000 in prize money over the course of that year, and I spent about $15,000 on travel costs. It was quite lucrative. I was in the green. And honestly, like, you know, from a could that be a job standpoint, the answer is like obviously a resounding no, right? But like the fact that like I had fun and got to travel around the country, like it was a good time. I don't regret doing that. A lot of good memories. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to make money. I was doing it because I was enjoying it. Do I attack with this Bloodvial Purveyor? Well, that lifestyle doesn't exist anymore because COVID killed it in its entirety. I worked as a data analyst and process automation engineer for the entirety of my time doing that. I finished grad school, and I got a corporate job to fund my card game addiction. Hey, Warden, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate the Prime. Welcome back. I think I double block this, right? Because they can kill one of my things, but then I kill it on the back attack. Remember to create the blood token. Create a blood token with what? What did I miss making a blood token with? Oh, this is free. Got it. This was free 99. You're right. If I would have remembered that, we could have started making bats. Good call, good call. Okay, we'll do it now. This is my first time getting to do this, chat. It's kind of great. I want to suck your blood, blah, blah. All right, so I want to keep Bloodvial Purveyor back because I want to block this once they slide a maul onto it, but I can attack with my 5/5 here. Right? This dies. Take 4. Oh, they get to trade for both of these, though. It's a little sad. This is a card that's consistently impressed me when we play this deck. Reading this during spoiler season, I did not think that it would be a card you'd be transforming with any consistency, but it's definitely exactly that. I don't think that card's very good, Phaser. That type of grindy advantage isn't really great in this format. This is attacking for 8. They could double block into here, but then they lose both of these. I think that's a good exchange for me. Why not swing with all the bats? Why should I swing with all the bats? Instead of me telling you why not, tell me why. Why is that a good play? I'd put them to 1. No, they'd go block a bat, take 3, go to 4. And then I don't have jump blockers in the backswing. Like, there's no reason to be super aggressive here. I have an incredible advantage as this game goes long. There's no reason for you to not just elongate the game. Even if the bat's damage wasn't reduced there, right? I guess their damage is not reduced. We attack with everything and they die. They'd go block, die. Okay, I'm gonna do like we did last time and cut the 1-drops and board pull up here. Bring in Ray, Power, Word Kill, Vengeance, Sorin. G Sliver, thanks for the follow. I'm sure we pronounced that wrong, but you know. When it's silver, not sliver. We're playing Magic. My brain rearranges letters. All sorts of wrong with the Twitch usernames. What's going on, Milla? Thank you for the 70-month resub. Look at that. Look at that animation scroll up. It's so great. Closing in on 6 years. Welcome back. Your stream's gone through some changes since you've been here. Thanks for hanging out for all of them. How high does that animation go? We currently have animations through 7.5 years. Tumos. Tumos is the OG at 75 months. I think we're just murdering the Usher here. Elderstein, sure. If you want to see the full animation, by the way, S Tier is the company that did all my rebranding stuff. They're excellent. You check it out there if you want to see the full animation spin through 7.5 years. If we don't get Banisher Priest this turn, we're in a decent spot. This attack's a little aggressive, but I like being aggressive. Okay, so do we take the Play with Fire as the guaranteed removal spell? I think we're supposed to, because not only does this let us play a tapped land for the turn, but... Oh, I guess I need Castle Dracula if I want to play this. Okay. This stops this from getting a training counter on it next turn. Yep. That's a nice one. Kinda just want an untapped land here, honestly. It's a good thing we wanted an untapped land, eh, chat? Because that was our choice. The deck delivered. Florian is just so good, chat. Legendary vampires, folks. Legendary vampires. That usually goes without saying, right? Like, constructed staple, good and limited. Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. Florian looked a lot like Dragon Lord Ojutai. So they've been really good about doing cycles of cards inside of the historic anthologies. I hope they give us the cycle of Dragon Lords in a historic anthology. Dear Wizards, if you're out there and you haven't decided what all is going in the December anthology yet, Dragon Lord Ojutai, Acharka, Silumgar, and Friends. Dramoka? I want a Dragon Lord Dramoka control player. That sounds delicious. They have, for reference, they have not officially confirmed a December historic card drop yet. But literally every time there has been 12 weeks in between standard set releases, we've gotten a historic card release in the middle. So actually every time so far that has happened. So we did not get a historic card drop in between the Innistrad sets because they were only 8 weeks apart. But there's 12 weeks between sets here. It's very typical to to get one in the middle there. Eye of Ugin, Reality Smasher, and Thought Navigator. Well, Eye of Ugin is a horseshit card that should stay far away. Game 1, Curse of Silence. Yikes. Vampire Socialite's a good one to name. Really weird trade here. I want to suck your blood, blah. I'd like Blood Moon and a 10-minute timeout. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Mono White doesn't struggle against Epiphany, but it doesn't have a free win there either. You have to work for it. All right, we might be rummaging through this Socialite. Alright, hopefully we're about to knock some dominoes over here. Does your dojo contain fear, opponent? Are you scared? That was actually like a pretty weird like half attack here, right? Like they attacked with just one thing, which felt kind of strange. I think I'm gonna loop through the Socialite rather than give them a card with this. Well, that's a noise straw. So we'll deal 2 here. Then we'll move to the post-combat main phase and trigger Florian. Did not take Socialite because Curse of Silence is making it cost 4 at the moment. Opponent had no cards in hand and then drew the best possible card they could draw. Feels Magic the Gathering Man. Start attacking. Hey, King Grasta, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. So this makes a blood when it comes into play. I think we're looting with this currently. Yes, Castle Dracula can eventually make some blood for us. Anje can sacrifice other creatures. The blood mechanic is great. I like it. I like it a lot. And we just take another Bloodcaster here, right? Wow, I can't believe we stabilized this game through the Legion Angel top deck. The Bloodcaster's transformed now. Your move, Yugi boy. I think this is our board plan for mono white, huh? Seems good. I think you could describe people that didn't expect the blood mechanic to be good as kind of clueless, because they're very adjacent to the other artifact token mechanic that we had the last time we were on Innistrad. I would like the record to reflect that if we miss with this hand, it's because Twitch chat didn't believe chat. So I'm gonna need you to channel me your energy, okay? This is your fault, chat. Why would you leave me hanging like this? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? Thanks for the follow, Disco Cacaterm. Alright, in it to win it, chat. In it to win it. Come on, they're gonna play a Skyclave Apparition and exile my Harvester. I'm gonna untap and draw land. Vampire's Vengeance is gonna be great. Nintendo Champ, thanks for the Prime. Welcome to the channel. There's a ton of great people. You can send those Bezo bucks to every month on Twitch. Thanks for sending them this way this month. Make sure you use your Prime sub, chat. Even if it's not here, take some money from Jeff Bezos and give it to someone else. He's got enough of it. Alright, come on. Hit me, dealer. Hit me, dealer. Papi! I think we just do this now. They've shown us Valorous stance. Oh, this card makes a blood too? That's so good. It's on Lantern control for Modern. Didn't that deck die when they banned Mox Opal? That was my understanding. I think I'm just gonna 1-for-1 this here. Just keep building my blood up. I personally have not played Modern in a very long time. I would encourage you to ask someone like Aspiring Spike or Doomwake. A lot of really good Modern creators out there. It's not a format that I am super familiar with personally at the moment. So I think I'm just supposed to do this again and clean the board out. If this is the greedy play, but if I play this and they have another Banisher Priest, I take a ton of damage. I think that would be bad. Thrash Assassin. Thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. All right, any 2-drop or 1-drop? Perfect. Gosh, Florian is so good, chat. Why is he so good? Hey, look. It's the Banisher Priest I played around 2 turns ago. How often does it flip over? Pretty often, actually. Like right now. Yeah, but I've been super impressed at how frequently this card transforms. Was not expecting it to transform frequently, and man, does it happen a lot. Noise? Noise? Good stuff, good stuff. Was a viewer list or one of the brews? It's safe to say that vampires is an established archetype in the format. Coded feeling salt for more than just Riot Games. Listen, chat, I felt like I had an obligation to beat the person who had the username Riot Games sucks, because Riot Games makes this wonderful League of Legends TV show called Arcane, and they sent me lots of nice stuff. Hashtag league partner, hashtag sponsored, hashtag FCC, whatever I'm supposed to do for that. They're lovely. They're one of the great companies to work with. And all that jazz. Arcane's great. I'm 4 episodes into Arcane. I need to sit down and finish it. What was in the box? They sent me some candy and some popcorn and a blanket and a mug and some posters. Now show off all the nice stuff I got from Wizards of the Coast. I have this box. I mean, a company send me stuff. I've got this box full of Pokemon cards back here. Does that count? Oh wait, Wizards doesn't make Pokemon cards anymore. They're made by a good company. Rats. I'll have to think on the other stuff, chat. Does this hand to keep? I guess we're on the draw. This seems fine. We got 3 castable spells even if we brick for a minute. We lead on this so we can play with fire at 2-drop. Nice. Skill game. Listen, chat, I'm gonna tell you a little bit. I'm gonna tell you a little secret about the world. Don't attach your enjoyment of games and things to the perceived morality of the company that makes those games. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism, and basically all of these companies are varying degrees of awful for various reasons. Whether it's ones that send me free stuff or ones that don't. Don't say that so loud. My business dad will hear and yell at me for watching communists. I feel like that can be applied to things produced by individuals like board games and books. Yeah, I mean, like, when a book or a movie gets sold, for example, like, there's a lot more than one actor or director or person involved in those things, right? Like, there's a ton of people that work really hard to put out a good product. Oh my god, chat. Yasharn means I can't make colors of mana with my Castle Dracula. What a savage beating. I was like, why can't I cast my Bloodcaster? I have two mana. Oh man. Wait, is that really how that works? Can't pay life to cast spells or activate abilities. I guess this is I guess that includes, this is a mana ability, right? I guess. It's a little savage. We are dead here. Lands are just fancy mana abilities, chat. All right, we've got a power word kill. We've got some burning hands. Maybe we don't need the Ray of Enfeeblements. I'm not saying you shouldn't be upset at the awful things that happened inside of, like, companies with Activision Blizzard with their lawsuit that's going on right now. What I am saying is not every person that works for Activision Blizzard is an irredeemable piece of trash, is my point. There are decent, good, reasonable human beings tied up in that company that make their living there trying to do something to provide for themselves and for their family. That doesn't excuse the awful, truly awful and abhorrent things that happened there. If you read through the details of that lawsuit, because many of those things were awful and abhorrent. But it's to say that life is shades of gray. And whenever we talk about this, I always like to bring up the fact that if you haven't watched The Good Place start to finish, you should fucking turn my stream off right now and start watching it. It is actually one of the best pieces of TV you will ever watch. It's so good. The Good Place. I believe it's still on Netflix. It is a well-written comedy with a good message tied up underneath it. I think I keep this. They're gonna play a Yasharn and turn my castles off again. Ted Danson's the old white dude, I think, right? I think that sounds right. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really super familiar with a lot of actors' names. Berserker. Yeah, that one. Just get down a 4/4 Scion here. It might be wrong to offer this trade. Go either way on that. The Good Place has a lot of good one-off moments in it, so you can take episodes out of context and appreciate them, but it has a really good overarching total message. If you haven't watched it start to finish to see the storyline continuity between the episodes. It's a consensus on Olivia for this deck, slow and bad. The 4 drops at the top end of our curve are big enough. Really sad, speaking of 4 drops, that we're flipping past a bunch of 4 drops here, but definitely need to just take a land here. Just gonna murder their stuff and attack them for 6 here is the plan. Until they Skyclave Apparition me, I guess. Even this is fine, right? Because I'll just like play this out next turn. The Good Place ending broke my wife. It triggered something in her and she cried for like 3 days. It's a good show. Bloodcaster. Why are you so good, Scion? Why are you so good? Hey, good to have you in chat, Dingus. If I missed your sub, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. This deck love an aristocrat. This deck would love Knight of the Ebon Legion. Although, sadly, I don't think adding just Knight gives it enough power to be playable in Historic. Is Play with Fire better or worse than Ray of Enfeeblement in this matchup? Ray killed things like Skyclave and... I'm gonna coward split these two, I think. Yeah, Ray killing Pig has value. Know when to fold them, know when to walk, and when to run. Sure. We'll play Black Source on 1 so we can Ray of Enfeeblement their Catilda on 2. Yeah, 6 Feet Under is the funeral home show. I watched that one with my wife after we watched Dexter, though, so it's hard to see the one. It's got Dexter in it from Dexter. Speaking of old TV shows. There's a new Dexter show coming out? God, has it really been off off the air long enough to get rebooted. Oh, shit. Why am I so old? It's a continuation, not a reboot. Really? I had not heard of that. He's in Canada now. Interesting. What's that on? What are we playing this turn? Am I hitting for 2 and playing Scion? I think I'm just playing Socialite this turn. And I'm gonna hold up Ray of Enfeeblement. And then we can play this pre-combat and find a land with it next turn, hopefully. If it makes you feel better, Eddie G, an incredible differential in clock timers is also present in Magic Online. It's not just Magic Arena. That's true. Holding Enfeeblement for the Chariot might have been right. I always forget it gives -4 attack to non-white things. Is it better to not make the Florian a 4/4 for first strike? I think the Florian's pretty likely to die, and I'd rather draw a card with it. I'm at 17. I can take a hit or two. As a farm kid, I have serious issues with the elemental boar sounds. Why is that? Because it sounds like it's saying moo. All right. It's like aspirate, but bigger. Yep. Yep. Okay, we have lethal in the air next turn. Almost. Almost. I only have 6, right? Yeah, I really wish they would have retired Hexproof as a game mechanic. Yeah, I know it's technically evergreen, but it's still a pretty crappy mechanic. This is lethal, right? We need to make a blood bet. Oh, just transforming is lethal, right? I forgot this gets bigger when it transforms. This can sacrifice something for an extra 2 if we needed it. Nice. Man, the Bloodbat card. I did win, Magus. The Bloodbat card is was super impressive this set. All right, people keep asking me what my favorite standard deck is. I think I'm gonna start saying this one. I like that this was doing a lot. It has reasonable interaction. It's able to apply pressure. The blood mechanic lets you kind of shift through cards in your hand / deck. Adds a really lot of consistency to this archetype. Why do I dislike Hexproof? Because it removes interaction from the game. Like, take for example, Immelrith, the Desert Doom. That card has like ward 3 or 4, right? Which effectively makes it hexproof in a lot of situations, but still gives you some counterplay if you really work for it or the game goes long. So like, I really think just like large amounts of ward are much better game design than hexproof. Yeah, Bloodbat Summoner / Bloodcaster. Like, this card transformed a lot during that set and was super impressive. It only has, sure, but like you could have it always have that amount of ward if you wanted. Like, instead of having something have hexproof, just put ward 4 on it, chat. So the people actually me, fucking stop. You're missing the point. My point is that they have the ability to have this mechanic that's like parallel to hexproof, only it offers a little bit more counterplay in certain situations. Yeah, it's just a better design. When your options are more counterplay or less counterplay, like, you should always err on the side of more counterplay. So, Mark Rosewater talked about this at one point. The reason why they moved to hexproof from Shroud is that most casual players thought Shroud was hexproof. So they changed the game mechanics to move to what people intuitively thought they worked as. So Shroud was nobody can target this thing. It can't be the target of any spells or abilities, even ones you control. Sorry, to wrap on this one, we got on a tangent. I don't think I have any changes. I think I'm pretty happy with our mix of stuff. I think our split of 4 drops at the top end was pretty good. They're both good in different spots. This one gets the nod as with the 3rd copy because the Maid of Dishonor is legendary. This card is definitely worth playing for of. After Bloodbat Summoner, probably the most impressive card in the deck, letting us draw lots and lots of cards every turn. Don't we want to run a Field of Ruin? I do not want to run a Field of Ruin in my aggro deck. No. Maybe if the Facebook deck was an actual meta deck, we'd play it, but it's not.